Were you just on a big vacation?
Yeah, we went to Norway, Europe, and or sorry, Norway, Denmark, and Poland.
For anything particular?
My parents had their 40th wedding anniversary, and we're Norwegian and Danish, so we bopped over
Okay.
there, saw some family. It was a good time.
Okay, nice. Have you been over there before?
Nope, never been to those countries. I've been to Europe before, but
Yeah. What parts of Europe?
I went to Spain with the City Eye class trip when I was a senior.
Oh yeah.
And then I've just caught some time and on layovers in like Amsterdam and Zurich. So
Okay. Yeah. I still haven't been to Europe ever. Katrina the Portuguese, so we're going to go to Portugal at some point,
yeah,
and I'd love to catch like a football game in Manchester or something too.
yeah. My wife went to Portugal with her sister a couple years ago, and she loved it. Super cheap, super fun. So
Yeah, and lot of her family live in the Azores, which are like some islands just off the coast,
I get you.
and just super remote and super chill.
Yeah,
So I'll have to check that out too.
nice. How's dad life?
It's good. It's all consuming for the most part, which
Yeah,
is good. I'd say I have everything but time.
yeah,
That's the only like man, I wish I had more time just to do the other things,
yeah,
but it's it's the best, and I'm at the point where I forget that like I have to not be a dad,
yeah.
which is like duh, but it's just so a part of my life and things now, and I love it. It's the best.
Nice. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's just fun to just it's almost like you're playing like an RPG with
Yeah,
a player, but the stakes are just like they're really high.
they're very
And
real. Yeah,
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 can real and I love just being able to just like teach him and coach him stuff like he did this little soccer league
yeah.
this last fall. So that was fun, and I coached, and it was a mess, but it was fun just to like teach somebody something, and then watch them actually pull off a thing.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that'd be super cool.
But it's been good. I definitely feel just more just more motivated just
Yeah,
in general because you know I got Leon to take care of,
yeah,
but it's good. I'm very happy that it happened the way it did.
yeah. It's awesome.
How? Yeah, thank you. Have you ever thought about that, or like, do you want to have?
We talked about it, but I don't foresee it happening for us. We've been married now for 8 years, and
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm kind of the opinion like if she wants to do it, I'm in. But if she doesn't want to do it, I'm also good with that. Like it's not. I'm not carrying the child, and I don't know. I think being a dad would be cool, but also like that's just such a burden on my wife that if whatever she says, I'm down with. So
Oh yeah, I totally get that. And like obviously I like it, but I'm not at the point where like, oh, you have to have kids, blah blah blah, and like that whole
yeah,
thing. Because I mean, there's trade offs for everything.
yeah,
Like it's whenever me and Katrina just have like a date night, or she stays over at my parents' house. So sometimes we'll just sit in the house, and it's so quiet,
hmm,
and you're just able to connect more, and just because the kid takes so much time from him, obviously that
yeah, for sure.
um
Yeah,
yeah
no,
things gonna lack, you know.
no 3 week vacation to Europe with a kid unless you
Yup,
don't them
exactly.
along. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Let's see, so I'm a little crooked here. There we go. And where are you at nowadays?
So I live in Des Moines. Moved here after high school to go to college at Drake, and then have been here ever since. So
Did you know that you wanted to be a firefighter for like a while?
no, actually, just kind of um, through circumstance, I had a few jobs after college that I did not enjoy. Um, I mean, I did for a while, and then just was like sick of them. And one of the guys I played football with at Drake had gotten on the fire department. He's like, I don't know, man, it's a pretty sweet deal. You should check it out. So I kind of missed the camaraderie of being on a team, and this just kind of filled that gap. You still get to do athletic like things, right? Being strong and capable matters. So it's been it's met a lot of my needs in terms of like feeling fulfilled, that I think I was missing out on before. So
Yeah, it seems like I always think about the team aspect part. It's like, man, you have to be just like so close to like your
yeah,
guy and your teammates.
yeah, yeah. My wife calls it boy sleepover because like I just every third day I'm gone hanging out with the guys, and we have a lot of gals too, but my crew is all dudes, and so it's just fun, man. We have a good time. We play a lot of games, pull a lot of pranks, do a lot of training, and then obviously get to run calls, so go on little adventures from time to time.
Yeah, I so what is like your hours like then?
Yeah, so it's 24 hours on, 48 hours off. So I work every third day for 24 hours. I live at the station basically. I show up at usually like 6 in the morning, and I relieve the guy in front of me. So like if I'm assigned to ride the ambulance that day or the engine or the truck, I just go to that spot, pull his gear off, and then my day starts. So check in my rig, and usually we have like a little staff meeting to figure out what we got to do for the day, whether that's training or chores around the station. Um, we're always figuring out what we're gonna have for dinner because we make dinner together every night. So um, and then the day just goes, and anytime the tones go out, you go out the door and figure it out. So
Dude, that's so cool, and that's just like s- such a different thing too. Like going in for 24 hours and you're there the whole time.
yeah,
But that makes sense because like if you were to doing getting an 8 hour shift, that's so much just in and out when you need
yeah,
that service all the time.
yeah, yeah, and it's shift work in general, like I don't know if you've ever worked a graveyard shift or whatever. I mean, that really sucks. So at least for us, like if you do the 24s like we do, you could sleep. It's just obviously if there's calls, you can't sleep. So like we have bunks at the station, and everybody goes to bed at some point. But if you we like I'm at station one, which is downtown Des Moines. It's one of the busier stations in the state. Um, and so like some nights we get some sleep, and other nights we get no sleep. So yeah.
That's so cool. So when you get to work, so do you have like a designated like person who drives the fire truck, or how do you?
Yeah. So they're all promoted positions. So everybody starts as a firefighter. I'm a firefighter. And then over the course of your career, you can take tests and go through promotional process basically to get put in those positions. So there's assigned drivers. We call them engineers. There's people who are assigned to the medic unit, fire medics, and then there's officers, so lieutenants or captains, and all of those are just like kind of ranks you climb through over the course of your career if you're interested in taking that route.
Oh, okay. So the firefighter is what one position where I feel like most people think that that's just the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, at its core, we're all firefighters, right? Like we
Oh,
all do the job, but then if you want to shoulder more responsibility or specialize a little more, then you climb up. Versus like as a firefighter, I will some days act as an engineer or I'll act as a medic depending on staffing. Like if our driver's got the day off or on sick leave, then somebody's got to step up, and so that's what we do. In general, firefighters you try not to jump two ranks above, right? So like I would never operate as a lieutenant or a captain. That we leave that to like the driver then would bump over and be in charge of the apparatus, and I would bump up and drive. So that's
Mhm.
generally how it works.
Oh, that and are most of your calls like what percentage are like a traffic accident, a fire versus
Sure.
etc.
Yeah, I'd say probably like 80% are EMS calls. So like just sick people, heart attacks, strokes, all the way down to like toe pain. Some people just don't know how to navigate the healthcare system, and so they just call 911. So we still show up. We maybe tell them, hey, call your primary care doctor. Don't go to the ER for this. But that's the majority of what we do because we do both fire and EMS. Some towns, like Iowa City, for example, they're just fire, and then they have Johnson County Ambulance runs the EMS. So they'll go assist them, but they won't ever like transport them themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're
Um,
separate entities, and they'll
okay.
work together, but I rotate between the ambulance and the fire truck. Like they would never do that.
So when you're in the ambulance, so you wearing like the EMS like that type of gear then?
Yeah, I mean we all wear medic pants and basically just t-shirts. And
Okay, yeah.
but when I'm on the ambulance, I bring my fire gear with me. Like it's in a compartment on the side. So if we have a structure fire or something, we can pop that on and go to work. Right? We're not precluding ourselves from doing one task or the other. We're kind of an all hazards unit.
Is it sweet driving the trucks?
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I mean, that's like what you grow up as a little kid. I want to drive the fire truck. So yeah, it's sweet. I mean, I'm at station one. We have an engine, which is just like your standard kind of fire truck, a lot of hose, a lot of water on it, and then we have truck one, which is the largest truck in the city. It's a 100-foot aerial unit, so it's got a giant ladder on the back, and it's a really big piece of apparatus, and that's fun to drive. It's much slower, so it's not like
Oh,
engine one's like a race car, but truck one is
oh,
pretty
yeah.
impressive.
So sorry to cut you off. So in engine one, that's like your regular just looking fire truck.
Hmm.
And do they have pretty like big engines then, right? Right? They must be just powerful.
Oh yeah, they're big diesel engines.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it like the first time you went on a call? Do you remember it?
No, originally I was assigned to Station 3, which is on the east side of Des Moines. And I don't know, you just go on so many that they all blur together. I remember some of my first few fires, but medicals, some of the crazier medical calls I've been on for sure. But I don't remember my first call. Um, I should have like one of the things I've always thought about. I've been doing this for 5 years now. Is like the value of journaling things. Like
Oh yeah.
you see some pretty crazy stuff. You have some pretty cool experiences. Obviously, like the value in writing some of that down would be immense, especially later on in life. And like I just haven't done that, and so things just man, I forget so much.
Yeah, fair. Well, it's time now.
Yeah,
This
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. That's so. It's just so interesting because it's a job that I feel like everyone like likes and appreciates.
Yeah.
And is it pretty cool just walking around with like a fire shirt on and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think like some guys let it go to their head, right? Like, on your day you're working, you're driving a big red fire truck, you're running through stoplights. When you tell people to do things, they do things. But then you got to get used to like those 2 days off. Like, hey, I'm a normal guy, right? Like, I can't run red lights, I can't boss people around. So, yeah.
Oh, so do you get the special plates then as a firefighter?
You can. A lot of times those plates are for volunteer services because those guys are like, they
Oh,
work, somewhere, and then they get a page or a text and like, hey, you got to come to this call if you can, and so then they, hustle over there, and so that's kind of the goal of those plates.
okay, that
Um,
makes sense.
yeah. So I don't have those plates. I have the blackout plates.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because like
Nice.
if it's my day off, I'm just gonna call 911 and say, "Hey boys, come get him." So
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're off and like something happens, are you usually like obligated to
yeah, I mean
make a move?
there's a certain kind of sense of duty to act, and like I think legally there's really not an obligation. I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but they talk about
Yeah.
that, right? Like, and I would, like, if it was a bad car wreck, I'd pull over and try and help, but like especially if those guys are already on scene, like they probably got it handled, you know. Like I've been on scene multiple times where like somebody shows up and like, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, and I'm like, cool, I don't really give a fuck, right? Like, you know, this is not your domain, this is mine. And so same way, like if I'm somewhere and something's going down and they're already there, you know, like I'm not going to butt in. Like that's their job.
Yeah.
They've got it squared away. And you know, on the off occasion that somebody's not there, I'll call it in and go over and see what I can help with. But
Oh
for the
yeah.
most part, it's usually just, hey, calm down. Like we'll get this figured out. You know,
Mhm.
don't panic. So
Mhm. And I'm guessing that you get like CPR training and a bunch of that stuff too.
yeah. So in Des Moines. We have 11 stations and 300 or so personnel. And so to get on Des Moines, you go through like a year long academy process. And most of that is the medical training side of things. So the first 2 months is EMT, emergency medical technician. The next 4 months then is fire training. So you spend 4 months kind of doing all the hands on kind of hard tasks there. And then the back half of that year, that first year is 6 months of paramedic school. So there's a difference between being a paramedic and being an EMT. An EMT is really like trained on the basics, like, you know, taking vitals and doing some assessments, but not doing as many interventions. Now, that being said, like, you know, people have been EMTs for a long time, usually have a pretty good pulse on what needs to happen and whatnot. But paramedics then, you go through the schooling and gain the ability basically to like give medications, do more interventions like intubate people or
Oh yeah.
like IVs and things like that that
Like
EMTs can't do. So,
yeah, I need 100 stats of CC something.
yeah.
Yeah, and all that. Like
It's usually not that dramatic. It's like, hey, let's get this guy some fluids, or you know, it's pretty low key. We try and remain calm, right? Because the last thing you want is somebody showing up and to save you, and they're you know chaotic as all get out, right? So
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
be calm is important.
That's funny that you said it goes to that it can go to people's heads because if I was a fireman, you would know it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you no, I'd have the shirt on. I'd have aviators. Oh, these so serious.
yeah. And like, I mean, it's hard not to, right? It's a cool job, and there's a lot of
Mm.
pride surrounding it. So like, I'm not trying to knock that at all, but it's also like it takes a little bit of mental effort, right? Like the next day, I'm driving home from work at 6 a.m. and like it'd be pretty easy to run a few red lights and be like, "Ah, I do this all the time." Like, oh, all right, you're a
Yeah.
normal guy for the day. Like, relax. So yeah,
Yeah, that's funny. What what's it like putting on the gear? So actually I'll get there in a second. So the first part you said was EMT
yep.
stuff.
hmm
So is that a lot of like classroom stuff and
Yes. Yeah, it's a pretty good balance of classroom and then like practical skills, right? Like getting dummies out and practicing like, hey, how do I do CPR or
oh yeah.
how do I do a tourniquet or bandage people? Um Basically like an EMT, there's a shortage of emergency medical people across uh the entire US, right? And so EMT is kind of like the bare minimum to get in. It's just like, hey, I've got a working knowledge of like these are some problems I could come across. This is what it means when somebody's blood pressure is high or low, you know, things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a fair amount of book learning with that. And then also just like, okay, can you do the skills now? Can you take the blood pressure? Can you splint somebody's leg? You know, do you know, X, Y, and Z, the simple things to like a lot of times most of these medical calls, like if you can do the basics really well, then you can do the most good, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
doing your basics well just matters. And so that's not as complex as all the medications and everything else. And so getting EMT school first is a good way to kind of get your feet wet and do the most good, I would say.
Okay, yeah. And it seems like EMT school is more hands-on, like practical stuff compared to you're not like learning about like the full like anatomy of the body and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you do like a brief overview. I wouldn't say it's
Mhm.
like as like you
Yeah.
still have to know all that stuff, but like in paramedic school, right, we go through like cardiology and like how to interpret EKGs and things like that and what that means and like
Okay.
what medications could impact that. So it's a little more in depth. It's a little more cerebral. But again, like that's not always the important part, right? Like if you're trying to figure out what med to give a person when like really you should be focused on making sure their airway's secure, then
Oh,
that's what matters. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of basics. And paramedic again stresses those basics, paramedic school does, but also like gives you the ability to kind of think at a higher level, and then practice medicine at a higher level. So
okay. And is paramedic and an EMT like the same job essentially?
same job, just
Or
like higher levels of skill, right? It'd be just like, and I shouldn't say skill, I should say certification, right?
okay, yeah.
It'd be like an RN versus a doctor, right? Or
Oh, okay.
an advanced nurse practitioner versus an MD. You know, it's a different
Mhm.
classification, still in the medical field, still in the emergency medical field, but just what you're allowed to do, your scope of practice is broader.
Okay,
And
cool.
yeah.
That makes sense. That's really interesting because I never knew that they were two different things.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people don't. I mean, there's just, oh, the EMTs are here. Oh, the medics are here. Like, I'm not going to stop. Be like, hey, let me explain this to you right now
Yeah.
during your
Stop! Stop!
emergency.
Stop! No.
Yeah,
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 right.
yeah.
Exactly. It is what it is. And it's so.
Oh, that's interesting. Also, side note, no, but I've been trying to stop saying that's interesting after things, so I'm going to be working on that moving
Oh,
forward.
dude, I
Just
can't
stop.
imagine like doing something like this. Like, you just catch all your verbal ticks and like hear
Oh yeah,
yourself.
and I got a lot of them too, bro.
Yeah. Even tonight, I was like, man, so I'm doing this thing. Like, what do I need to catch myself on? What do I not need to say a lot? So we'll see. Proof will
Oh,
be in the pudding.
and it's awesome because with this app, it can take out all the all the likes. It can do
Yeah.
essentially everything.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
man. That could go to your head, right? Just like me going through red lights in the red fire truck. If you think you sound better because it's cutting out all your hums, it's a little.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I leave them in a lot of times,
Yeah,
but there's someone like, okay, this has to go.
I get, I get it.
and so I feel like with the job, there's lots of obviously downtime, then like high highs.
Yeah,
How do you mentally deal with that?
yeah. It's a good question. I think for me, like I'm just such an extrovert that being around a crew, especially like right now, I have a really good crew of guys I really get along with, and we're all good friends. So like that's the easiest way is just like to normalize it, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know, maybe it's not the healthiest way, but you just talk about it. You're like, oh, that was a crazy deal. Well, we did a cool thing, or maybe we could do better next time. We should have caught this. So, and then you go back to playing ping pong or basketball and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, and how about just the more just like the adrenaline? Because when you get a call, the alarms go off, right? Then
Yeah,
like
sure. Yeah, yep,
so is it literally like the bells go off, you run, you grab your shit, you slide down the pole, you get in the truck and peace?
yeah, yeah. If it's a structure fire, I mean, it is like a race, right? Like you want to because the way the sequence of events works, right? Like getting there before other engines and trucks get there matters. You get to do more cool stuff the sooner you get there. So like it's all hands on deck to get there as fast as you can. And not that we don't go um, fast for medical calls too, right? But it's just that's like that's the show, right? Like you're excited about that, you're ready to go. So structure fire, people got a little more pep in their step and get ready to go. I'd say that too, like when a cardiac arrest tone drops, right? You're like, okay, this is, this could be real serious, right? This is like a difference between life and death. Seconds really matter. So, and other calls too, like we're along the river. So like if a wet rescue drops, like it's like, okay, we got to go, right? Like there's
What's
several different.
what's that? What's a
Yeah.
wet
So
rescue?
we have the Des Moines River and the Raccoon River through the heart of downtown here, and especially the Des Moines River can get really high and start moving fast, and the Raccoon too. But the Des Moines River has two low head dams on it, and so if somebody's in the river and they can't get out and they get in those low head dams, they're just going to get cycled around like a pinball. And so to beat that and make sure you get to them before they get there, or like we have procedures to get them out that are you know tough at best to execute, but there's a sense of urgency with those types of calls. So same thing with like a gunshot call or a stabbing, right? Like, okay, we better get going because who knows. So
Yeah.
and sometimes
So
like something will get toned out and you're like, oh, it's a sick person, it's not that big of a deal, and then like you show up and they're like, oh, I'm sick because I'm bleeding out because I got shot, and you're like, okay, that would have been good to tell dispatch. Right.
yeah, yeah. And oh, by the way, I got shot too.
Yeah.
that's that's so when you're uh yeah, so if you get to like a gunshot call, what if you get there first?
As opposed to PD.
Or yeah, do like the PD always get there first in that case?
It just really depends where they're at in the city. If it's a gunshot, like, and we either heard the gunshots or like can verify the gunshots, like we'll stage and wait for PD to clear it, because we don't want to go in and then have multiple gunshot victims.
Yeah.
So that's something we drill from time to time, especially like on a larger response. If it was a like what we call a multi-killer incident, right? So multiple people shot, things like that. We're
That's
clearing.
funny.
Yeah, yeah. Like if we're clearing like rooms or whatever, operating with PD so that they're in the hot zone, we're in the warm zone, and then we can get people to the cold zone. So, um, yeah, I would love to say that PD is always there first, but they're having
Oh,
staffing
right.
problems just as much as us, and they might be on one side of town, something else comes out, they got to fly over to the other side. So yeah, we just hang out and stage.
And so when you say stage, I'm guessing that like when you get to a scene, there's a different way to park for everything and ways to like set things up.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a really insightful question. Medical scenes, obviously, you just want to get there as close as you can, so you can get all your stuff in and out, and then you have an easy exfil with your ambulance. But so when we stage, right, like on a shooting, we're gonna stage a block or two away, and then yeah,
Oh, okay.
maybe have like a discussion of like, okay, when we go in, this is the way we go. When we go to a fire, right, depending on the location of the fire and the house and all these different things, and this is why we have officers, right? Like this is what they train for, is to execute the plans that way. Is okay, we want the truck to park right in front of the house because it's got the ladder, it's the closest way to get it up. We can have the engine hook a hydrant and pull past the address. So there's a lot of tactics, especially on the fire ground, that officers and engineers especially focus on. So
What's it like when you're inside of like a burning building?
uh I don't know. I don't want to sound crazy. It's like fun, right? Like, cause that's what you trained for. And, um, I don't know. It's just a cool part of the job. Right. So, it can be a little nerve wracking too. Like if you get disoriented or, um, you know, yeah,
Yeah. Because so does wearing just a suit just feel just like obviously it works, but is it surprising on how protected in there you feel?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is, I don't know that you ever feel protected, but
Oh,
you certainly know that your limits are different. Right.
oh,
And so, yeah, I mean, it's a big, heavy costume, and you got to know like there are different weak points, right? Like not all gear is as strong as other parts of gear. So, like your face piece will fail at 300 degrees versus your coat's going to fail at 600. And so, like
oh.
you might not feel hot, but if your face piece is, if you see something wrong with that or something, you feel the popping on your ears from it going through your hood, you're like, okay, this is probably too hot. I need to get out. And that only comes through experience, right? Like I would
Mhm.
say there are guys on this job who've been doing it for 20, 30 years. Like they get it, right? Like I'm just at the point where now where I'm just like, I'm still, I'm figuring it out, right? Like I'm not
Mhm.
experienced. I'm just like, ooh, I'm starting to notice these things like,
Oh, yep.
oh wow, that's crazy. So you start to gain an appreciation for actual like being in live fires and getting that
Mhm.
experience. So
And have you had have you carried somebody out of a building?
yeah, I've carried like three people out or like been a part of the rescue. None of them lived, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah.
Oh, that's that's so crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. What's that like, if I may ask?
Yeah, I mean it's funny. It's a job where everybody's like, "Oh, tell me about your craziest call," and like again, a lot of them you just tend to forget. There's some of them you don't, right? Like, and I don't know, we could you maybe put it like a warning before this or something, but like,
Oh yeah.
you never don't forget the smell of like burnt flesh or like the feeling of like grabbing somebody and their skin just like, you know what I'm saying? Like it is those are crazy experiences and things that like just stick with you, and it is what it is, right? Like that's it's the job. I signed up for it,
Mhm.
and I'm glad I get to do it because somebody has to, right? So yeah, it's a trippy deal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I always think of just besides to the fire stuff. It's just the car accidents.
Yeah, yeah,
That.
some wicked, especially motorcycle accidents. Like
Oh.
you just see some crazy stuff. You see the human body in ways that you never do. You shouldn't really. And so that's the thing too, is realizing like we kind of get, I don't want to say immune to it, but we get used to it over
Hmm.
time. And obviously when you're young and you're starting on the job, like you're not used to it. And like I'm still hearing stories from older guys. I'm like, that'd be crazy to see, right? But also when you're on scene, a lot of times the bystanders, like they're normal people, right? They don't see this regularly. And so like kind of trying to give them the maximum amount of compassion and like, hey, let's maybe get you over here or take care of you. Like, don't look at that. Don't, because
Um.
they're really not going to be able to scrub that from their memory, right? Because it's so infrequent, right? It's such a high level of stress and whatnot. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like even not the same obviously, but did you see Tyreek Hill legs last night?
Mm-mm.
He tore his ACL and dislocated it. But even seeing that, I'm like, oh, I'm done. So I can
Yeah,
only imagine seeing motorcycle crashes and the flesh thing and that's crazy.
yeah, it is crazy, and it's until you go through it, I don't know. There's just nothing you can do to like prepare for it, right? But then you don't really have an option, right? Somebody's in the building, hey, get them out. Like I can't check their pulse, I can't do it. I can't
Oh,
figure out in the fire what's going on,
mhm.
right? I'm just let's get you out, and if you make it, great. That's the goal.
And you mentioned that you get disoriented sometimes. Has that happened to you?
Definitely in drill school, like they try to stress that so that you learn
Oh,
how
smart.
important it is to stay oriented. I don't know that I've been disoriented in a fire before, but you can't see, right? Like, I mean, it depends. You show up, sometimes you can see. It depends on the thermal plane of the fire, right? How far is the smoke bank down? How charged is the room with smoke? Are there windows open? Has it vented out the roof? But yeah, a lot of times you go in, you're just like, man, I can't see shit, and so
So
you,
how do you just like yell for people or?
yeah, I mean that's actually it's a really good way to search at the start. Just call out like, "Hey, fire department, call out," because then if I hear somebody, I can go straight to them. I've never had that happen, but we had a guy a couple years ago made a rescue in a pretty legit fire, and he just said, "Hey, fire department, call out." At the top of the stairs, he heard her, and he was able to make his way straight to her rather than search like an oriented search is where you would go in and like follow a wall and say, "All right, I'm on the left side of the wall and I'm swooping around and." going all the way around the room versus like he heard her, he was able to go get her and just bring her straight back, basically from muscle memory. And by the time he got to her, she was unconscious, right? So like him having the wherewithal to say, "Hey, call out," that saved seconds in terms of finding her. Who knows if he would have found her otherwise, right? Because in a smoke-filled, fiery room, like sometimes a couch cushion might feel like a human, and then you pick it up, you're like, oh, it's a couch cushion. So, um, yeah, calling out is a good deal. Otherwise, just staying oriented. And sometimes, guys will leave flashlights at the door at the bottom, and hopefully you can see that if you drop back down, or if you're searching in a team, which is how we always try and do it. Somebody maybe stays at the door, and so then they can always stay oriented to the room, and you search the room real quick, and then go back to them, and then you bump up to the next room. There's a lot of different ways to handle it. It just kind of depends on the experience and how comfortable people are in the fire ground. Like I'm sure guys who've been doing this for 20, 30 years, would laugh at me and they'd be like, man, that guy searches like an idiot. Well, they've been doing it for a while. They got a little more salt on their neck than others. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and just the yeah, I always get to like, oh yeah, you can't see anything either.
yeah,
Like it just smoke and just heat and just
yeah. We had a fire a couple, maybe it was 2 months ago now, and it was over not too far from my neighborhood, and just a little bungalow house, and uh, they were making a fire attack from the back with the hose line. One of the neighbors walked up to me and my crewmate, and they were just like, "Hey, she's in the, we think she's still in there. Her bedroom's back there." It's like, okay, so we go through the front door on the opposite house side of the house from the hose line, and and like I go in, I'm like, all right, I got this. And I get down, I'm starting to search. And like within the first like 5, 10 seconds, like it was such a small house. I just was like immediately underneath the fire. And I was like, oh, okay, here's the fire. I don't have a hose line. So not a lot of good I can do. I'm going to go to the other rooms and search for her. And luckily she had left like an hour earlier. So pulled out her dogs. But
oh, Matt got the dogs out.
yeah, they died.
Oh,
So
oh, oh.
sorry.
Okay. um,
Uh, yeah. But
have
her
you
cat
gotten any?
lived. Her cat lived, so that was a big
Uh,
plus. She was
have you
happy.
gotten have you gotten a cat out of a tree yet?
I have not. I can't wait. Like, I'll definitely. I don't post a lot on social media of work stuff, but I would probably do that because that's everybody's like, "Oh, how many cats you get out of trees?" Like, I don't know. Cats in general, like, find a way to live, dude. It's the
Oh,
dogs, like, and again, like, this is going to be a real morbid, but like, that cat lived at that fire because it just like burrowed, it like hid away, right? And the dogs died waiting for somebody to come get them because that's just how dogs do, right? Same thing when we
yep.
go to somebody's house, like, when Mima died 3 months ago, dogs die and they're just like laying right next to them, looking at them like, why don't you
Oh,
just feed me? And then cats probably have started to eat them because the cats will survive. They're just, that's just how they're wired.
oh,
Dogs, not so much.
yeah. Especially in a fire, too, just so nimble and small. I feel
Yeah.
like they would just figure out a way
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So like when a cat's up in a tree, I'm like, yeah, you'll probably figure out a way down. Like it'll be
Yeah,
fine. If a dog was up in a tree, I'm going. I'm in.
no,
We're
yeah.
stationary.
Oh, so with your two days off, how do you spend most of your time?
Yeah. Really, however I want. This last year, I was elected to be our union secretary, so I do a lot of just like menial secretary work. Like filing people's uh, work status and collecting dues and things like that. Nothing too glorious. But that takes up a lot of my time. We have like 320 members in our unit. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, making sure, like we send flowers out to when they have family members die and things like that. So, just doing like the normal business of the union keeps me pretty busy. Other than that, we have a dog. So, take her out to the dog park, take her on walks, have a good time, plan
Oh, yeah.
trips.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You watch anything good?
No, I really don't watch a ton of TV. I watch more
Oh,
sports than anything, so watch the NFL and
oh,
the
yeah. Who is
NBA.
your team?
the Packers. So
Okay, nice. Yep, same,
been a
same.
pretty it was a pretty exciting offseason to get Micah Parsons, and then the
Oh yeah,
first
yeah,
two
yeah.
games, I was like, we're gonna win the Super Bowl, and then we lost to the Browns and we tied the Cowboys. I was like, oof, we got some more work to do, but
Yeah,
still feel
yeah.
good.
I feel like our next four games are like the Bengals, Cardinals.
Yeah,
There's some. I think we should get to 6-1, 1-1, pretty easily, but
yeah,
knock on wood.
right. Well, I would have thought we would have been 3-0 pretty easily, but the
Yeah,
Browns still
yeah,
play.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, a tie almost felt not worse than a loss, but it almost did
yeah,
because it was such a and by that I mean it was such an exciting game, and then it just stopped.
yeah, it fizzled out. Yeah, I don't know when
Yeah,
they switched to 10 minutes. I feel like it used to be 15 minutes like several years ago. I don't know why they switched to 10 minutes. That
yeah.
just there was no chance for like any drive. Like I know they've switched the rules, so now it's not first to score um, wins, and I get that, but also like it kind of made like there's a sense of urgency, and like the way college football does it, I think is superior, right? Like
Hmm.
you know there's like a chance to score or lose basically every play, right? And so I don't know, it's good, but yeah, you're right. The tie just feels weird. Um,
Yeah, I just felt nothing. I was like, oh, I just watched that game and I don't feel happy. I don't feel anything.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know that is it's true.
and Des Moines, I I like Des Moines a lot. I've only been out there for just around a few times just to hang, but it's really fun.
Yeah, Des Moines has some really cool neighborhoods. We love it. Uh, it was good to get out of Iowa City. You know, I think you like
Hmm.
Iowa City is such a cool and unique place that you grow up and you're just like, oh man, like this is awesome. Like it's Jazz Fest and I don't know all the other things, right? Like
Yep.
just you really fall in love with it and then you leave it and you're like, oh man, the rest of the world is also really cool. And so it's fun. It was fun to grow up in a town like that, and certainly there's bigger and better places than Des Moines. But Des Moines is a pretty good sweet spot of being relatively small, but having a lot of big city amenities, and
Hmm.
it's still pretty affordable because it's Iowa. Traffic doesn't suck. We were just in Denver a couple weeks ago to see my wife's family, and like. In Des Moines, it's like, oh, there's a traffic jam. We'll be 5 minutes late. In Denver, it's like, oh, there's a traffic jam. We'll see you an extra hour late. Like
Yep. Yeah.
so.
So we just drove through Denver to get to Glenwood Springs a few weeks ago, and even just going through the I-25 area
Yeah,
from the airport through,
yeah,
it's so crazy.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like, I got a lot of buddies in Chicago from my college days, and like, yeah, they're just like, well, normally it's a 45-minute drive to get there, get to this place, but sometimes it could be an hour or two. It's like that's just like unacceptable in my mind. Like, I value my time way too much to sit in a car. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Even around here, like dudes are like, they live in Waukee or out in the country or Altoona, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's a 15 or 20-minute commute. I'm like, no, dude, screw that. Like 5 minutes. So, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get so used to just like what you are and what you can deal with.
Yeah,
But like luckily living in Denver for 4 or 5 years, so I never forget the traffic. So being in IC, if there's
yeah,
like a long, it's I don't
yeah,
even think about like this is fine.
yeah, yeah. Like there's a lot of times I'll get in my car and go like grocery store or some like restaurant that we want to go to, and like we don't even finish the song that I started when we got in the car. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, that's the move. It makes everything so much easier.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That makes me happy though that it's a one day on and two days off, just to
yeah,
have just like the space and just the time to not be in that
yeah, yeah. And
not
there's a
craziness, but just like heightened state. I feel like.
Yep, absolutely. And there's a big push actually to move to 1 day on, 3 days off, because like right now, if you average out our work week, it's like 56 hours a week. So it's
Oh,
still 16 hours over a normal work week. So uh, moving to 1 day on, 3 days off, or 24/72 puts it like around 42 hours a week.
yeah,
And so, some of the argument is like, hey, Why do we have to work 16 extra hours on a work week as opposed to, people who work just 40? Now, some people say, well, it's because you sleep at the station and things like that. It's like, well, I sleep if I'm lucky. It's not always the case. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I sleep or I'm pulling off flesh off of an arm that just
yeah,
comes off. Oh man, I'm gonna tell that story so much. The skin just comes off. That's gotta be so crazy.
yeah,
That's so nutty.
yeah,
Hmm. Do you have like an so I don't even like to ask a question, but do you have like a next goal in mind within the fire station? And you shouldn't be expected to have one either, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, that's a good question. I think the natural path for a lot of people is to promote and like, climb their way up through the ranks.
Hmm.
That really requires like you want to or understand that you're going to be in charge of people. And my two previous professions, I was in charge of people, and it is a totally different atmosphere, right? But like managing people sucks, right? Like you just it's way better. Like I would much rather be a good employee and just like not have to worry about everybody else than be an okay manager who's trying to balance so many things. And then, you couple that with like, all right, now you're managing people when they go into a burning house or they're trying to pull somebody out of the river, right? Like where life and death is not only at play for the people who called or the people, at the emergency, it's also in play for the team, right? So
Hmm.
that's a lot of stress. Takes a special person. We have some really good officers on the job. Um, I'm also, I really enjoy the union side of things because the goal there is, just to protect the health, safety, and welfare of everybody on our
Hmm.
department. And that feels like a really good way to give back, almost like community service, but like it's a very tight knit community. Um, Part of that is like you have to be okay with saying, like, hey chief, or hey, cap, like this, that's not cool. Don't do those things, or
Oh yeah.
don't break the contract. Like we have a contract for a reason. And so uh I think coming from the lowest rank, like, there's not a target on my back. They can't be like, oh, I'm gonna demote you or
Hmm.
prevent you from getting promoted. um so that's kind of a plus in that regard. And then ultimately, like, I got on the job to do the job, right? And the farther you go up, the less you get to do the job, the less you get to be the guy in the house
Hmm.
pulling somebody out, the less you get to be the guy with somebody's grandma, saving her life. And then, that those are really rewarding experiences to, get to meet the family or things like that. Or, just even people, you go into a house, right, and everybody's chaotic because they don't know. And if you can, talk some sense into not only the patient but their family, and really help them through, what can be really difficult circumstances, that's very valuable. And being a firefighter, you're kind of at the forefront of all of that if you choose. So
Oh yeah. So I got one more for yeah, which I was thinking about too. I feel like playing sports have helped a lot with just the mental side of it, the just being prepared side, just everything. I feel
yeah,
like I can help a lot.
yeah. I've thought a lot about this, and I talked with Tom Zeckler. I don't know if you keep up with Tom. Tom's here in Des Moines, and he was coaching at a gym I was going to for a while.
Shout
Uh,
out Tom.
Shout out to Tom. Tom's a good dude.
Oh, I
But
love Tom.
uh, like I used to just hate Coach Sabers for so many different things, and like it wasn't until maybe like I kind of got it when I was playing college football, and again, it was a small college. It wasn't like overly serious, but um, just like the farther I got in life, just like, oh, don't make excuses for yourself, like go do the thing. Like what do we always say? He'd be like, your mind is so strong, and he'd like raise up his
Yeah.
hands, do that kind of stuff. He's
Yeah.
right. Like, and you just buy in and put your mind to stuff, you can get it done. So, no, I don't know if you keep up with Coach Sabers. I've always thought like, man, I should just write him and be like, hey, thanks for being like a tough but good influence in my life. So,
No,
yeah.
no. I've actually seen him once, and like you know that he about my neighbor, and
Oh, that's right.
I'm thinking I want to get him on here sometime.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Uh,
Yeah, hopefully he's just loving retirement, kicking.
yeah, it seems like he has. he's having a good time. I know with a family is always around, so that's always a
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah, yeah. But definitely, like on the job, you see a lot of people. There's a strong trend of either military personnel or college athletes.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
just because I think, we're kind of people would say we're a paramilitary organization, right? Like we have rank
Mhm.
structures, you can get AWOLs, things like that. So if you're in the military, it's an easy place to find a home after that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then for athletes, it's so similar. I mean, obviously, like we're not blocking people or throwing a football around, but like you're working with a crew, right? It's like it almost feels like I'm a part of another offensive line unit
Oh,
in terms
yeah.
of like
I bet it
everybody's
does.
got their role, they know what they're doing, the officer's the quarterback, he's going to call the shots, and we're just going to do the things, right? So it's been great for me, but I get why people just naturally fall into it, because if you went to college and that's why you went to college, or that's
Yeah.
what you went to college to do, people always ask me, well, why'd you go to Drake? What'd you get? What was your degree in? I often just joke football. Obviously I learned a lot,
Yep.
but I went to Drake because they were like, "Hey, play football here." It wasn't. I didn't go to Drake because I was like, the school was so great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's awesome, man. And it just suits you so well. This big, strong. The mustache is perfect.
yeah, thanks. I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
just
nuts. I mean, we can't grow. We're not technically allowed to grow beards, and my beard is pretty scraggly anyway, so it's probably a good thing. But every once in a while,
no, the
it'd be
stash with
nice to
like a
not shave.
little bit of the flow. I'm liking it. It's a good
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, the flow drives, like we're not supposed to have super long hair, and if we do, we're supposed to like put it up in a reasonable fashion. At least that's
Oh
what the
yeah,
ladies have to do, and I just like to let it go crazy. So
yeah. I'm in that truck. Just let's go.
yeah, just letting the wind hit it. Yeah, it's good. No, there's guys on the job who have way better hair than me. I think it's also just really comical how much it appalls people. So
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, yeah. Well, thank you for joining me. I was really excited just to catch
Yeah.
up and ask you like quite questions about
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. You bet. Yeah, you should. Have you had Tom on?
No, I want to. If I'll have to. Tom, this is your invite. I'll reach out
Tom,
soon.
right? I'm trying to think who else from high school. Did you ever know? Do you know Sterling Harris?
Sterling. I'd have to see a picture, but I
Yeah.
think so. I think I'm picturing the right person.
Yeah, so Sterling actually grew up down the block from me, and we were like best friends all through elementary school. And then, like, once we got to high school, he was in cross country, I was in football. Like that kind of, we didn't, hang out as much or whatever. And I hadn't seen him since senior year, and then we were in the recruiting process together at the fire department. Didn't know it, and we showed up to like a physical test,
Oh yeah.
and it was in the middle of COVID. He's wearing a mask, I'm wearing a mask, and I'm just like staring at him. I'm like, I know this dude. How do I know this dude? And then like I think he adjusted his mask, and I was like, oh my god, that's Sterling Harris. And so yeah, now he's on the job. We got hired together. We were in the academy together. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah, yep,
Okay. Yep. I know just guy. Shout out to Sterling as well.
yeah.
Yeah, just anyone who wants to come on, they're welcome to. So
Sure, you
it's
bet.
just because I feel like just like you being a firefighter, you have so many cool stories. It's interesting, it's motivating, but to you it probably just feels normal. So I'm thinking, let's get him on a podcast, and then people
Yeah.
can be like, oh shit. So
Yeah. Well,
here
it's
we
cool. I mean,
are.
it's kind of cool seeing like I caught a little bit of the one you did with Malcolm, and
Oh yeah.
like when I was in school or when we were at City High, like I kind of looked up to Malcolm just in terms of like he also played center on the basketball team. He was far more talented than me, but like I was like, man, being Malcolm Moore would be cool. Now he's a DJ, and that seems pretty sweet. I checked out his music. That seems cool. So it's like honestly, it's just fun to see what people are doing and what they're up to because yeah, like I don't know, we just don't get together. Life's different. Some people
Right?
are
Yeah. I just want to
across the
bring
world
everyone
doing
back
things.
a little closer together.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's awesome.
Thank you, man. Keep it up.
Yeah,
Appreciated.
yeah, you bet. Anytime, Jesse.